What's up, everybody? My name is Victor, and welcome to my YouTube page, which is all about helping people navigate their awakening process. And today's video is going to talk about what I have termed an Ascension Energy Hangover. This is just a pattern, an aspect of a cycle that I have been experiencing for a long time, that I know many of you are as well on your road through this ascension process. And in the beginning, I used to label it a certain way and have kind of a negative experience with it. But now, in seeing it for what it really is, I have gained some wisdom, and I believe I can perhaps convey a way that you can also benefit from this aspect of this ascension cycle that I have called, again, the Ascension Energy Hangover. I find these hangovers come after a massive energetic upgrade that we go through, which of course usually, or always really, influences us internally. We have an internal change of perception, a new expanded state of consciousness. But then the effect always is that we have to resort our lives out because we're now different, and our external reality, there's a bit of a lag, and we're not so much aligned anymore. So usually that involves attracting a lot of different situations into our life very rapidly that are bringing to our attention that this and this and this and this and this is all out of alignment, and it can be kind of overwhelming. And this experience of quickly coming into the realization of things in your life out of alignment is very kind of chaotic and disorienting and a little bit hectic, and you feel a little bit off. And this can oftentimes bring about like mental compulsions and little addictive behaviors to kind of just deal with the dis-ease you're feeling inside and the internal discord. But eventually all this kind of like settles, and you wake up now more comfortable with all of the changes you know you're going to have to make. Now more optimistic and hopeful, and like, okay, you're kind of excited to make these changes. You're kind of a period of clarity, and you can kind of now sense that things have settled down. But you've also picked up some bad habits. Maybe you've been drinking a lot of coffee the past few days or a week, and eating a lot of unhealthy foods, and just, again, all these little human addictive traps we tend to kind of flare up during these stormy times I was just referring to. Even though we're kind of like with this, we wake up and things are clear, we can kind of go about and make these changes. There's a bit of a hangover effect where you're just not your best. You got to, like, maybe it's time for a detox. Maybe it's time to really start kind of like looking at some of your behaviors that aren't in alignment with this new direction and this new person you now are. So it's just kind of this combination of clarity and compulsion, and it's kind of call it the Ascension Hangover. But in the past, I would always feel very guilty, like, wow. Because, again, during those times of acceleration, oftentimes you do exhibit behaviors as a way of coping with what you're experiencing that really you don't really want to be doing, but you can't help it because things are so crazy. Perhaps you had like a meditation schedule, and that just went out the window. You had a yoga practice, and you were eating smoothies every day, and that just went out the window, and you're just like doing your best to make it through the day. But again, that all comes to an end. And you have like the aftermath of living that way combined with clarity to go forward. I call it the Ascension Energy Hangover, which is a great time to not feel guilty about what you experience, just to kind of understand that sometimes things get tough and things get sped up, and you just do the best you can. It's okay, no guilt. Don't let yourself feel guilty. Focus on the clarity you now have, the new awareness of where you want to go, the new awareness of all the things that you can now begin to take action on to modify in your life to make your external life more reflect this internal change that occurred, and have fun doing it. Because that's kind of what this is about. This ascension process is these like big expansions, and then we have to fight and keep up our physical reality bubble to match our increasingly expanded internal state of being. And it's a good thing. It's a good, these periods I'm speaking of are a good time to plan and to begin taking action, to finally you'll now have the power and like the wits about you to start implementing these things that maybe a week ago you knew you had to do, but you really just couldn't bring yourself to do it because things were so tough. Take advantage of these times where things settle down. The energies are shifting, and you can now again, put your life back together. And then perhaps down the line there'll be another like breakdown, and you'll repeat this whole thing all over again. But I've learned the way to speed through and master these ascension energy cycles is to really allow the nature of the cycle to be as it is without wishing it for it to be a different way, and take advantage. So right now, yeah, you might be a little hungover. You might have gained a few pounds. You might be drinking more coffee than normal. You might be like obsessed with your iPhone and Facebook and social media. Maybe you're like whatever your thing is, but okay, that's okay, because now there's also a component of clarity. The energies have settled. You now know where to go. So go. Now's the time to go and to plan as well as act. But if you waste time thinking, wow, I'm so upset at myself. I can't believe I acted that way last week. I can't believe I allowed myself to get so out of sorts. I don't know what the heck is wrong with me. And then you like spend a few days dwelling and ruminating about what already happened and is gone, and like being down on yourself. And you wasted this energy cycle, because pretty soon things are going to change and you'll have missed out. So I just made this video to kind of give you guys perhaps a different perspective and insight into something you might experience now or down the line as these cycles sort of repeat themselves, and just again to dig into the nature of these particular cycles and their inherent qualities so you can use them to your advantage. Namaste.